Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Brian, along with my co-host, Brett.
Hello.
We're here to talk 90 Day Fiancé. This is season 4, episode 7. Drop by drop, the river rises. Um, this season is really getting off the rails. Just before we get started, we did not see Danielle and Johan, so we will not be talking about them, but they did have a little bit of preview for next week, so we'll definitely see them there. But this episode really focused on like Jen and Rishi, Gabe and Isabel, and Nicole and Mahmood. Danielle and Osama, or not Osama. Debbie,
Debbie?
Debbie and
Debbie
Osama.
has some.
So let's start with Jen, just because that's kind of how the episode started. Jen tells Rishi that she doesn't want to live with his family, and that her visa expires in 4 months. And it's a one-way visa. So if she leaves, she can't come back. So I wasn't really too familiar with how visas worked. Like you could I knew there was expiration dates, but I didn't know it was like you could only go in once. And like I think that's why they were pushing the marriage. Like she's like, I want to move in, like I want to make this work because she needed to leave.
I just assumed that Americans could like go anywhere and do anything they wanted. I didn't know that like an American isn't welcome to live in another country. I just assumed we could if we wanted to. Or they wouldn't be, oh, your visa expires and you may not get a new one or you can't stay for whatever reason. So that kind
Yeah,
of
I kind of thought like the kind of similar to what you're saying, where it's like when people come here, you need a visa. I mean, I guess I thought, but I didn't think it was going to be that strict. Other places, I mean, it sounds like it's equally as strict. I'm sure other places maybe have looser guidelines, but
I mean, we might be biased, but I think America is probably like one of the best places you can live. And I think a lot of people not from here end up here one way or the other. So I didn't think it would be hard for us to go other places as easy as it is for them to come here to some extent.
yeah, I mean, I really, yeah, it probably just really depends on where you're going. I don't remember anybody else talking about the visas except Jen and Gabe. Like I don't remember Debbie or I guess maybe Chris mentioned it, but they were getting married so quickly. I just don't think it mattered. So, but
Yeah.
Jen, that's running out, and I mean, this episode kind of sounds like it covered a long timeline because she already had to meet with somebody and tell him like she needs to go back soon. So
She
I
she had 30 days, so she's coming up on her 30-day mark. And
yeah
then I just thought the visa guy that she went and talked to, that guy was funny. He had a few good quotes where he's like crazy Americans and their odd behavior. Like this lady needs to learn how to read or something. It is
yeah.
an
I mean, especially he was like a lawyer, right? Like he dealt with that stuff, so I'm sure he that probably is more common to him than you would think. Uncommon to us, but very common to him.
yeah, I
Yeah, I don't
guess
know
her
where it's gonna go.
her intention was to like leave the country, I guess, and chill there for a few days or 30 days and come back. But he's like, no, like if you go to another country, you might get stuck there or something.
Yeah.
So he's like, you should just go back to America. So
What do you
that's an interesting development.
what do you
And
think? Like, do you think they're done?
I mean, they might as well be. Like, yeah, I mean, it sounds like she has to leave. So,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
if
I
she
mean, she has
leaves,
to.
she's probably not coming back for another 2 years. So they should be done. And then when they did the whole crap at the end, like having this discussion, just the horns were blaring the whole time in the road. They were just horns that were annoying me. I don't know if anyone else picked up on
I
that.
must have missed that.
Yeah, like the whole conversation, they were like next to the road, and I kept thinking too that like Rishi was trying to act like he was sad, but to me, I'm like almost thinking, is this guy trying to like be on the show for acting cred and try to like somehow get into Bollywood or something off of the show? And maybe he's not. I mean, he could have proposed to her. Everyone said he could have proposed to her, and he didn't. So that's why
Right.
this is a whole issue. So he
Right.
might just be stringing her along for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably more. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I think he's stringing her along. Probably just be on TV. But yeah, I'm gonna say that one's dead. I think it's dead.
Done with them.
All right. Next on my list of they were doing order of appearance. Osama and Debbie. So they this might be the shortest like time there by anyone on the season. They get there, they go out to dinner, they're staying at a hotel, and on the way there, she's like, "Oh, we're gonna stay at your parents." He's like, "Oh, we're gonna stay at our parents. You're not allowed to drink in my house," because he said that's how the devil comes in, and he wants her to be half a Moroccan woman. So I guess like cooking, cleaning, and like she's like, I didn't sign up for this." Which again, it's just like, what are these people? Like, what are these conversations these people are having where they're ready to just completely uproot their entire life and go somewhere else without having these conversations?
Right. Like they don't. I mean, I don't know. They don't talk about their day to day life, or they just assume they can do whatever they
Yeah,
want in these countries. I suppose. I mean,
yeah,
she's retired, right? So I don't know what her plans are, but I feel like cooking and cleaning isn't that much to ask. It's not like, I mean, unless he's like making her a slave, I guess. But cooking and cleaning is something you have to do anyway to survive to an
yeah. But
extent.
I think it's more of a waiting on. To me, I
Yeah.
was getting the same impression how Rishi thinks that he wants Jen to be.
Where it's like a full time job and they're
Yes.
serving like the whole family. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
That's the impression. That's how I interpreted the way he was saying it. Yeah, so I mean that one they had a sit down dinner and he's like, "Oh, well, I want you to be here for 2 months and then you can go back." And she's like, "Well, you lied to me." And again, it's just like you need to have these conversations or you could avoid all of these things. Like, well, I didn't think you would come if I said this. And it's like, well, now you look like an idiot. So
hmm
I'm interested to see how this one turns out. I still think they're done, but she might entertain the 2 months.
Well, why is he sending her back though? Because like I get he wants to make sure that they
I have no
mesh in
idea.
real life, but like, what's the purpose of sending her back
I have
versus,
no idea.
hey, let's date for the 60 days we're talking about, and if I don't like you, then I send you back. But if I like you, then we get
Get
married.
married. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
Con
that's all I
man.
have. And you can't drink in their house, which you said, but yeah,
Yeah,
all I got.
it's like weird. It's weirdo stuff. I don't know how you don't have these conversations before you uproot your life. It just create. It's. I mean, they're
They're
all at fault. Everybody's at fault.
talking about poetry all day.
Yeah.
These two were.
Okay. Jamie and Chris. We didn't really see much of them, but apparently, Chris is just dead in bed pretty much. Like she can't get out of bed. Her back hurts. She's just like a walking ailment. And Jamie goes to talk to her friends, and she tells the two guys that we got to move. She has to leave the day before our wedding. So I'm assuming they're probably going to move up the wedding, probably the day
Was that
before or
what they
something.
were? Was that the plan? Because I don't recall if they were like, we need to get married before she leaves, or they just move the wedding back. Because I thought they said move it up.
Yeah, I think they are going to move it up. So we'll have to see what happens there because the previews were very interesting. I know you didn't watch them, but I'm not going to give anything away. But I'm interested to see next week how their relationship develops.
Dead.
I don't know. It doesn't. It doesn't look promising. That's all I'm gonna say. Nobody's looks promising. That's just the show is nobody's relationship looks promising. So I mean that's like where they're at right now. I think they're gonna move it up. Her friends were like, "That's shady. That she's just gonna leave. Like, is she gonna come back?" And I think that's the big fear is like, is she gonna come back?
Yeah. The only thing I wrote down for that is that Chris was in bed in pain, and then Jamie went and told her friends every single thing we've already seen from the past 5 episodes in Spanish,
Yep.
and then we learned nothing else.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Because I really think like they're really stretching these because they're probably all gonna go. They're all dead relationships for the most part. But you need to make content. They probably have to fill out
Got to hit
10
their
episodes.
episode quote.
Yeah, 10 episodes. Yeah, exactly. Okay, we meet Gabe's friend Trey, and like he like plays basketball. He didn't know that he was trans. Gabe told him. The guy's like, okay, like just you gotta just remember where we live. Like they're not gonna be as accepting as they are in America. Isabel doesn't like Trey, and I, it's, I don't know. I don't know. Like, what was your vibe when they were at that dinner, if you have any at all?
I think that this whole thing is just weird. Like, I mean, I see nothing wrong with them, but I feel like they're all trying to find something wrong in each other. Like, so the friend is a womanizer apparently from Isabel's eyes, and that's
Yeah,
why she doesn't like him. But he's boys with Gabe. Didn't even know Gabe was trans until now. He's still cool with Gabe. And then Isabel's friend comes in, who looks like he's straight out of the cartel or a gang. He's got face tattoos all over him, and she has like one or two baby daddies saying that like she's the perfect judge of character. No, I don't think so. Isabel's not a good judge of character. So I don't like her passing judgment on Trey in a negative way. And then the next thing is you go to the, I mean, I don't know if we're going to talk about the dad, but I thought
Yeah,
the
we
dad
can
seemed super
we
cool.
can go right into it.
The dad and the mom seem super cool so far. So I was expecting a lot harsher person in general, even though they haven't talked about the trans thing, but like they all seem pretty chill. So I don't
Yeah.
think it's going to be as negative as maybe as I originally was thinking.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a little bit of smokescreen. They're definitely like very traditional where like you're not gonna sleep in the same bed if you're not married yet, type of thing. But I mean that's not that uncommon anywhere if like they're very they yeah, that to me was not surprising. But well, again, you never know how someone's gonna react when you tell them that news. So I kind of agree with you that it's probably gonna be okay. But we are watching a crazy TV show, so expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
So
I
we'll
mean,
see
if
how.
he doesn't approve, it's more so he's hung up on the trans thing than when Gabe was like kind of asking leading questions of like, what do you want from a
Yeah.
person who
Yeah.
is, he's like
Right.
naming all these qualities that aren't specific to like having a real dick or something.
Right,
So
exactly. It's like, yeah, personality traits,
yeah,
not
he's trying to like
physical
lead
traits.
him into it. Whereas like, she's been with bad dudes in the past, whereas now
Mhm.
she's with like a good dude that's like
Yeah,
a new dude. So
right.
I don't know. I think they'll still work out though. I don't think it's going to be as bad from the dad as maybe we originally thought. But if it was, that'd be funny.
Yeah,
That he'd be
they're definitely the
full
leaders in
Monday.
the clubhouse of working, but we'll see. I hope it does. I kind of think it will. But here's a couple that I have has zero chance of working is Nicole Mahmood. They're still arguing about clothing. They go. I mean, I'm sorry, but she's an idiot. Like she's an absolute idiot. And they
This
go
is
to
what you
her
wear,
uncle.
Nicole. This is what you wear.
They fight. They fight about clothing, and I thought it was really funny that like the most important thing in their faith is prayer. And she was like, "Oh well, he only cares about my clothes," and I thought that was funny. He definitely like in his head was probably like boiling with anger. But they go talk to his uncle about like the clothing thing, and they seem to be okay with it. But they're like, "This is going to be more like you're making clothes for yourself. Like normally, people around here, if they're following the faith, they don't need these aren't clothes that they would ever buy." And I
Like,
think that like was eye
see
opening.
your aunt over here that has all you can see is her eyeballs poking
Yeah.
out of her cloak.
But see, the
That's what
mom, the one of the woman next to her had her
her
face
whole
out.
face, her whole face.
Yeah. So what is that? Is that
Very promiscuous.
how does that work? I'm not 100% sure how that works. Maybe like if it's your home or the mother.
I don't know, but I think what the uncle said that was very interesting was that if Nicole did not become Muslim, then
Yeah.
this would have even applied to her in the first place, and she could have done whatever she wanted. So I'm wondering, like we missed the discussion where she converted. So
She's no, she
maybe,
said it in like the first episode. Like she in passing, she's like, I converted for him.
well, we know she converted, but like,
Yeah.
what? Like, was Mahmood pressuring her, or did she just think she should because,
Probably the
like, why
second
not?
part. Because yeah, I mean, do you think she makes good choices?
No.
Yeah, she doesn't look anything up before she makes a choice. She does very drastic, irrational things, and she's complaining about it. And I'm sorry, like I understand how you feel, but you should have done some research before you did this. And now you're trying to
Yeah.
make clothes that like are good for you, but no one's gonna buy it. And the uncle's like, yeah, I mean, they look nice, but we're not gonna make money off of this. So I mean,
He must have
I
the easiest business in the world. He just makes like black gowns that cover your entire body.
yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what kind of if he does like all like both gender clothes, but it's just, I mean, they're gonna get. She's definitely gone, right? If she, I kind of want them to stick around because they are like entertaining because it's a train wreck. But I
I want
hope
to
they're
see
here.
her. Well, she said something too, where like she doesn't know if it's Mahmoud's rules or if it's Muslim rules, and I'm like, they're all
It's
Muslim rules. They're not
there
Mahmoud's
is yeah,
rules.
it's
They're only
100%.
Mahmoud's rules because he's a Muslim. Like, so if
Yeah, because
you,
he cares about his faith.
yeah, so if you, I don't know, like if she, like she's even said if she has questions about her faith or wants to convert back, like he might have an issue with that. So maybe that's why she converted in the first place. But who knows? Because I think that might be the easiest solution would just be to like, look, I'm not a Muslim. I just want to be a nothing, and then
Yeah, I
do
just
whatever
want to
he
be with
wants.
you, but at the same
Yeah,
time, I don't want to be. I don't want to be a part of this faith. And
Right.
but again, she converted, so like,
Convert back to not having one.
right, I agree. Yeah, yeah, you can do that, but how is he going to react? I mean, it's just, Brett. These are people. All these people are irrational because they found love online, not like down the street, across the world. So like, things aren't working out in their normal life that they're being. I just think they're dumb, dumb
It
people.
seems like a lot of the problems from a lot of these people is stemming off religion, and like there's too religious, so it puts them in a box of their perception of reality and what's allowed and
Yeah,
not allowed.
100%. Yeah, I don't get it. Let us know what you think. Like, if anything we're saying is crazy or you agree with us. I'm kind of leaning towards people are going to agree with us because it's just like, I'm learning. I learned things like last week we learned about penises. This week we're learning about like just just some everything like the like I thought even though the clothing conversation like didn't go the way Nicole wanted, I thought it was just interesting to hear like their perspective on things. And like, it just, I don't know. I like hearing about different cultures and stuff like that. But I mean, it's just like you stick these idiots in there and they're just blown away at like other people don't do things exactly the way they do. It's just like
Yeah. Well,
dumb.
that's why I agreed to watch the show in the first place, because they were going to the other countries. I'm like, okay, that'd
Yeah,
be cool to see like what's going on in these other countries.
yeah,
So yeah, it's interesting stuff.
yeah. I'm definitely gonna try the regular version when it comes back. But I mean, it's not gonna be as like polarizing, I think, as this one is. But you never know. It has so many seasons. It's got to be good. It's got to be ongoing for a reason. So maybe they just cast more crazy people and they know they need to bring like the loonies in for the
I think
American
it's
bit.
better than MILF Manor. So we watched MILF Manor right
No,
after.
100%. I
I think it's
completely
better
agree
than
with you.
MILF Manor.
This show is way better than Milk Manor by like leaps and bounds. 100%. 100%.
It's not better than Survivor though. So go vote for Survivor.
Brett's last gasp.
I think they're the ones that are head to head in the matchup. So I think it's season 43.
I thought 90 Day had lost.
I hope
I
so.
could be
Because
wrong.
I mean, if it's season versus season 43 is Survivor, come on now, Gabler's Goons.
Yeah, so speaking of that, we did a March Madness bracket that's ongoing currently. I think, well, by the time this drops, you'll probably be able to only vote if you're seeing this for the first time for the second half of the round of 32. But we'll be back with the Sweet 16 Elite Eight on Thursday, Friday. We're keeping it synced up with the actual college basketball games just for fun and things like that. So we're probably gonna do like a little video this week talking about how the first two rounds went and just kind of give our thoughts on what shows are left, who we think is gonna win. We have Below Deck finale tomorrow. We also have Bachelor. Who knows when that show's gonna end? I think it's either like next Monday or Tuesday. Are You the One just ended? We have Survivor still. So Farmer Wants a Wife. So check that out. But tons of stuff, tons of shows. We always have something, at least one thing a day for everybody. And thank you for watching. So for myself and Brett, see you.